Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 49 coming in with another shoutcast for the OUSA Node League Season 1. Just loading into Game 2. Blink took a commanding Game 1 from team insert name here. I think the final score was something like 50 to 14, something along those lines. Really brutal play coming out from them. We'll see what heroes decide to pick up this time, and most importantly, we'll see if insert name here decide to ban out their Ancient Apparition. They know that power, that Chilling Touch now. They know the power of the Ember Spirit. We'll see if they go for a few respect bans. First ban, once again, Timbersaw. Very interesting how Blink decided to switch it around now. They usually ban out Slug and the Invokers, their first and second picks, but it looks like Timbersaw first their secondary ban now. And there we go, respect ban coming out from insert name here. The first banning that Ember Spirit. Snow had a fantastic game, especially against that mid lane. King played a great Pudge, but unfortunately Ember Spirit just flat out beats Pudge in a 1v1 situation. Secondary ban for Pudge, yeah, respecting the power of King's Pudge. He was on point with his hooks, really created a lot of space for his team. But his other two lanes weren't too crash shot, only so much he could do. The Dire side had a very greedy draft last time. They picked up both the Bounty Hunter and the Nature's Prophet. Wasn't too sure they could lane that. First pick Invoker. I have yet to see Snow play Invoker, so I'm in for a treat tonight. Secondary ban, another respect ban for the Ancient Apparition. I've told you once, I'll tell you again and again and again. Ban Ancient Apparition, he's too OP. Disruptor is the first pick. Huge synergy coming out, especially with that Glimpse. But with the recent buffs to his range as well, the biggest advantage to Disruptor is the fact that if you're going in on a tower dive or a kill attempt and someone in support TP's in, all you have to do is glimpse him back to base and say, hey, thanks for the gold you just wasted on that TP, sending you right back home. As well as for chasing attempts, if you max out that glimpse, 1.6k range, there's a lot of cool synergies you can do with that. Crystal Maiden has that pickup again. I don't even smoke. Had a pretty terrible game last time, was called out of position a lot. Died to the sheer amount of burst damage coming out from Blink, but decides to go for it again, gets right back on the horse. Not too sure about the synergy coming out from these two heroes in particular. The issue with Disruptor is he doesn't have any form of hard CC, he's got that kinetic field, but all it does is impede movement. Crystal Man has that exact same weakness. She has Frostbite and Crystal Nova, two great soft CC spells. You've got a high range, high AoE snare, as well as an immobilize from that Frostbite, but you don't have a stun, you don't have anything to really lock him in place, and Disruptor lacks that as well, so a bit interesting. Usually we might see something like a Disruptor and a Bane Elemental, or a Disruptor and even someone like a Lina or a Leshrac, just to follow up with that stun. We've got Nature's Prophet picked up. Naga Siren and Disruptor is also a great combo, because you've got two ways to lock people in place. You got the Ensnare, you got the Kinetic Field, and when they run away, you glimpse it right back, so you can do it all over again. Third ban, that Clockwork. Blink they're choosing to ban out offlanes that they don't want to face against. Clockwork, very powerful for the fact that he can go 1v1, 1v2, 1v3, he doesn't care, he'll always do fine. Once he hits level 6 for that hook shot with level 3 battery assault, your supports better watch out. If one of them are called out on their own, they're dead. He can immediately use that to turn his game around. Third ban out in the Razor, very surprising considering that the fourth ban is the Outworld Destroyer. Razor's an excellent tri-lane, off-lane, and mid-lane hero. He works very well in the 1v1 situation. He's okay in tri-lanes because there's two ways to build Razor in tri-lane. You choose to max out his Plasma Field, use that as a finishing ult as it provides a lot of damage. You're guaranteed to hit almost every hero in the tri-lane. Fourth ban is that Sand King. Secondary build is to ignore the Plasma Field, go for that Static Link and the Plasma Field and the Unstable Current. So use that to chase him down, steal damage. We've got that Lifestealer pickup. Blink Dota weren't able to ban out Lifesteal this time. It's the first time I played against Lifesteal in a long time. Last game they played against them, their supports picked up early 4-staffs that were able to kite him around, mitigate all of his damage. If Lifestealer can't hit you, he's not doing shit. We've got to disconnect over from insert team here. I think King just disconnected. It could be a lag or internet issues over in his end. Hopefully we shouldn't have to have a remake since he's not the captain, so we should be fine. Fourth ban, Sand King offers a hell of a lot, and almost any situation. He can gank, he can roam, and he's great in teamfights with that Epicenter. With that recent change to Sandstorm, so it does the damage ticks a lot faster. We've also seen Sand Kings actually jungling a lot similar to the sense of that Crystal Maiden. Whenever you have a spare moment, pop into a lane, stack a camp, sit on top of it, use Sandstorm. Use that to keep yourself up on gold and experience. Crystal Maiden can do the same thing with her Frostbite. It's one of the reasons why these support heroes are seeing a lot more action, is the fact that they can maintain relevancy so they don't get too behind. So if nothing's happening at the moment, if you're not roaming, killing, or supporting your carry, making sure he's not getting bullied in a lane, you run back, get yourself some gold, get yourself some EXP, make sure you get boots up in a reasonable time. Ensure that you don't become complete food once the mid-game rolls around. Dazzle pickup for Blink. He's a hero that used to be very rarely seen, now he's picked up fairly often. It was a change to the Poison Touch as well as the increased range through his Shallow Grave. I believe the range is 400 at level 1. 550 level 1, never mind, it's even better. It used to be about 300, so you have to get right on top of them to throw out that Shallow Grave. Now at 550, it's about the same as his attack range. It means that Shallow Grave gives you whatever hero you cast it on 5 seconds, but they can't die. It's an absolute lifesaver. They'll always stay at 1 HP, so can really enable you to ensure that your heroes get out alive. Dazzle is one of the support heroes that scales really well into the late game because all of his abilities scale. Poison Touch is always relevant because it's an excellent snare. Has a mini stun in it 3 seconds into it, as well as at the very start to use it to cancel TPs and channeling abilities. Weave reduces armor, which is always relevant at any stage of the game. His Shallow Grave, 5 seconds at all duration. The only thing that goes down is cooldown. The cast range goes up from 550 to 1000. Great ability. If you cast on your carry when he gets initiated on, gives him those 5 seconds to go berserk and kill everything right before it goes down. As well as his Healing Wave. One of the reasons why Dazzle's a great pickup is he's one of those support heroes like that Venomancer that could always find farm. You walk into a lane, you throw out your Shadow Wave, does 140 damage to all the creep, heals the creep to 140, every creep you heal does 140 physical damage around it, so you can use that to clear waves very quickly. In terms of the 5th man, we've got that Slardar. They're fearing that negative armor coming out from that Dazzle, and rightly so. We've got Nyx Assassin picked up by insert name here. Blink Dota almost always ban out Nyx Assassin. This is a great draft so far. We've seen 2 heroes that Blink Dota usually don't like to face against, that Lifestealer as well as that Nyx Assassin. And the 5th ban, we've got that Weaver, so they're really fearing that chasing power, especially since they have Skywrath Mage. Very squishy, relies on his high mobility to escape. Very surprised they chose Skywrath Mage, considering that there's a Nyx Assassin to field. Nyx Assassin's mana burn does so much damage to intelligence casters, and Skywrath Mage has huge intelligence growth. Tinker picked up, so we'll most likely be seeing King playing Tinker. Very greedy hero, but when he works so well. Once he gets that Boots Travels up, if he gets it up in the early time, if he gets Blink Dagger, good luck trying to gank him. He can TP into a lane, shift you that Blink, and a Bloodseeker! So it looks like we have a tri-lane Bloodseeker coming out. So tri-lane with Dazzle, Skywrath Mage, and Bloodseeker. I don't think I've ever seen this before, so this could be a Dota 2 first. Blink Snow leading the way on Invoker. Z over at his off-lane, Nature's Prophet. He had a fantastic game as Magnus last time. We'll see if he repeats that performance. Just a quick pause. I don't even smoke saying fear. He's afraid. They don't know what the hell's happening. Never mind, he's saying fear the king. You know what Omar says. If you come for the king, you better not miss. So he'll be leading the way over in the mid lane with that Tinker. Tinker v Invoker. I'm not actually too sure who they have the advantage to. If Tinker chooses to go for QW and go for that early gank build with that laser and rockets, since Invoker will most likely be going for a QW build as well, should be pretty even. However, Tinker could always choose to go for March of the Machines, keep 1 point that laser, just use it for that blind. At level 1 it costs 95 mana, does 80 damage and blinds him for 3 seconds. That's significant. Every time Invoker goes in for a CS, you blind him. You can't last hit what you can't see. Use that to get ahead. Invoker's biggest drawback, especially goes for that Quas Exort build, is his base damage. He's got an excellent attack point, great animation and range, but he hits like a wet tissue. We'll see if he decides to start off with a Blades of Attack. It's a build that a lot of Invoker players like to do when they're starting out, just to ensure to mitigate that lack of damage. And over for Tinker, he hits a lot harder. He's got a pretty good animation as well. The projectile speeds, I think, is a little bit slower than Invoker, but other than that, he should be fine. If he chooses to max out March of the Machines, once he gets that Boots of Travel, be able to start jumping around with that rearm, constantly pushing out all the lanes. He could go for another build of competitive scene does a lot, which is 2 points in laser, 2 point in rocket. Never mind, level 1 March. I'm not too sure how I feel about this. You always want to go for that, usually level 1 laser, just in the early stages, so you can use that blind to prevent them from getting CS. Get level 2 before they can. Try to harass them out of the lane, but I guess he recognizes if Invoker goes Quas Wex, you're not going to be able to kill him with that burst combination, as you'll be able to out-regen you with Quas, with the regen from Quas, as well as with Ghost Walk. He's starting out with a Null Talisman. It's another standard pickup item on him as well if you don't want to go for the Blades of Attack. Gives him a bit more stats, about the same amount of damage. Very good pickup overall. He's been pulled 2 tangos as well, starting with a Cell. Unsure if he needs that Cell, considering he'll be going Quas Wex, but if he goes with the Exalt, he might need that regeneration. Flash starting out with first point over in Bloodbath. He's gone for that Stealth Shield and Quelling Blade. Very standard items for that Bloodseeker. Skywrath Mage leading the way with Concussive Shot. And Dazzle choosing to save his item point for now. He might need that Poison Touch if they're going for a gank attempt. He might need that Shallow Grave if they get jumped on. So we'll see what happens. The biggest change to Dazzle over the last few patches is the fact that Poison Touch has switched around. Poison Touch used to be the most useless skill at level 1. You had to get 3 points in it before it was relevant, because that's when you got the mini-stun built into it. That's when the snare was significant enough to actually be useful. Now it's being rescaled, so it's useful at all levels. Very potent spell in its own right. Nature's Prophet, scouting out with his trees, and it looks like Nyx Assassin is going to be on the solo off lane, with Nyx Assassin's base regen being 3.2 seconds HP per second. Once he picks up a poor man's shield, very hard to bully out of lane from right click, so you either have to kill him, but you can't harass him out. Very difficult to do so. Try lane with the Disruptor, Crystal Maiden, as well as Nyx. Disruptor works great with the Nyx because you have the Crystal Nova, as well as the Frostbite to follow up with Wonksa, hold them in place. As well as that, you also have to glimpse back, especially against a hero like the Nature's Prophet, who will be playing very defensively. We see Z starting with boots. This is the standard Emerald Bulldog build. He's using his treants to leash the creep wave back. Wonks are not too sure to respond to this. Trees die before they can do anything, but this means that the creeps are already at the tower. They're taking a lot of damage. That means the secondary wave will always be in a safe place. Excellent micro coming out from Z. Really recognizing how to control creep equilibrium. He's going to hold his treants right in front of tower range right over here. This ensures that the creep wave isn't tanking tower hits, and that way they take a lot longer to die. So his creep wave is now able to clash in front of him. This is perfect for Z, as it's now impossible to go on him. There's no way they could kill him, especially with boots. That means they have to dive under the tower, and most likely they'll result in a turnaround. King has just picked up level 2, so he's going for a laser now. Snow actually going for a Quas Exort. Very surprising considering Quas Wex has recently been significantly buffed, and with the sheer amount of teamfight power coming out. But I suppose the synergy coming out with the Bloodseeker, Thirst gives you vision, Sunstrike to follow up, high amount of pure damage coming out can help out this tri-lane. And with the Bloodseeker as their tri-lane carry, not a lot of damage coming out from their safe lane farmer. He can right-click, but beyond that, there isn't all too much he can do. Slap and Tickle taking a lot of damage from the tower. Lifestealer has very low armor, chosen not to start with a Stout Shield, time to choose with the Quelling Blade. Don't do this at home, folks. Nyx is hitting like an absolute truck already. He doesn't need the Quelling Blade. You need that Stout Shield to mitigate harassment. With 1-2 base armor, you're not going to get a whole lot done if they just bully on a lane. No point in dealing damage. You can't deal damage if you're dead. Invoker hitting very hard now at about 70. He chooses to trade hits with King. King chooses to laser him, recognizing that Invoker can turn around and start beating on him. Looks like in terms of CS so far, Flash leading away at 9 for 3, followed closely by Slap and Tickle at 8 for 2. 1 point up in Rage, 1 point up in Open Wounds. Hasn't gone for that feast yet, will most likely pick it up at level 3. Bit of harassment coming out, but Z is able to give as good as he gets as Crystal Maiden hits like a wet towel. Next Prophet hits a bit harder. Yoshi gets a first blood. Looks like Nyx decided to hang around a bit in the jungle, called out of position. With that concussive shot, with that poison touch, I'm very surprised that happened. How the hell did he die with the amount of damage coming out from both these support heroes? No Ancient Seal. Dazzle doesn't do all too much damage. He right-clicks pretty hard, but that's about it. Huh. And there we go. Poison Touch followed with the Cold Snap. That's a great synergy coming out there. As Poison Touch procs every second, Cold Touch procs so long as they're taking damage. And with that Arcane Bolt in that last hit, Skywrath Mage gets a kill. Excellent rotation coming up from the players at Blink. DDY really showcasing his knowledge of his hero's abilities. Following up initiating the concussive shot, following up the Arcane Bolt, throwing one last hit because he knows that they'll do enough damage to kill him off, and backing away before he tanks too much damage from the tower as well as from that March. Z hanging around about half HP. Slap and Tickle without boots, there's very unlikely he's going to be able to get a kill attempt off, as Open Wounds is a very low range, one of the nerfs that really crippled Nyx as an offlaner and really has impacted his effectiveness. We've got Disruptor picking up second point up in Glimpse, so that's going to be drastically going to increase that kill power, especially against that Nature's Prophet. But Z's playing very defensively. He knows that all he has to do is get some EXP. He's already got a decent amount of gold coming in. Get as much farm as he can, pick up that level 6, use Wrath of Nature to farm more creeps, get that Midas. Flash being a little bit cheeky, throwing out that silence, knowing that Viceroy Gunray can't do anything. One of the changes to Bloodseeker's Blood Rage is the fact that it's rescaled to it does 20 damage at all levels. Level 1, that means it's 120 damage to nuke. I guess with Nyx's regenerations, it's more like 100 damage, but still, the fact that silences him prevents him from popping his carapace can prove to be a critical factor. Snow hanging around, King lasering a creep just to get that CS. He's got his bottle up. One of the drawbacks to Invoke in the middle lane is he can go for a bottle, but it's not really all that great on him, as you don't really want to rotate out of the lane. Invoker's a very greedy hero in the sense that he needs to get as many levels as possible. You really have to structure your team around him. He's going Quas Exort, so he doesn't create such a huge impact. Blink called out. Wonksa misses the Crystal Nova. He doesn't have that Frostbite level 2, so Blinksy's going to walk away for free. If he had that Frostbite, could have been a whole different story. I Don't Smoke, hanging around. Wanted to get that glimpse off, but Z choosing to go the long route, make sure he doesn't get glimpsed out. I guess no, what's that regeneration against King with the Marching Machines coming out? He's only got 1 point up in Exort. Also means that Invoker's a pretty mana-hungry hero, especially with Cold Snap and with that Sunstrike. With that bottle, I guess you could always follow it up, but Usually, you'd never see Invoker going bottle. It's a pretty unusual pickup for him, as you don't want to waste time out of the lane running up to get runes. I guess if he does pick up something like double damage or haste, he can make it work, but we'll see how it works out. Wongstar's taking a lot of damage from the trees that are just beating on him. Slap and Tickle saying, hey, get away from Crystal Maiden, I'm the only one that gets to slap her around. Getting some CS. 34 for 8 over in the Bloodseeker. He's off to a fantastic start. We'll see if he chooses to go for a Midas. Yeah, there we go. He's just picked up the recipe. And he bought the Glove of Haste over at the Secret Shop. He's off to a great start. We'll see what he chooses to go for as his first big item. He's already choosing to max out Dust. Gives him a huge amount of mobility. Means that if you're at low HP anywhere on the map, he can see you. He has vision over you. He gets that movement speed so he can run you down. Biggest drawback to Bloodseeker, however, is the fact that while he excels as a solo ganker, he has no way to cancel TPs, and his burst damage is largely based on how stupid the enemy is. If you throw out your ult and they stand still, not going to do all too much damage. If you silence them to prevent them from using spells, they can choose to turn around and start beating you. So a lot of drawbacks to the hero, but definitely has his upsides. The fact that they've recently removed the movement speed threshold over in his thirst, very unlikely for it to happen, but you never know. It could happen. Provides true vision as well. King lasering a creep again. He's off to a pretty decent start. Is being beaten out by Snow's Invoker, but that's because the sheer amount of right-click power coming out from that Exort build with that Null Talisman means he's hitting really hard. Really enables him to control the lane. Picks up a regeneration rune. Actually choosing to skip missiles. This is extremely interesting. Usually, Tinker players, if there's any ability to choose to skip out, it's that laser. They might just keep 1 point in it. Or they could even forego it, go for March and Missile. But March and Laser, I don't think I've seen this before. And the reason why you go... Oh, never mind. Another kill over in the bottom lane. Sorry, I've missed 2 kills now. The reason why they usually go for March and Missile is the fact that if you TP into a lane, Missile is 2.5k range. If you have vision over them, you can throw out Missile, throw out the rearm, Missile again. Enables you to siege, enables you to delay pushes. And means you can occasionally get a kill on the fleeing hero with that Missile. Nyx not having a great game so far. He is level 4, but Flash is level 6, so there we go, we've got that rotation coming in. Thunderstrike, followed up with that Crystal Nova, and a few right clicks. Not all too much damage done there. Yoshi TP's in just in case, he's got that Shallow Grave, if Snow does get down too low. Snow, he might actually be going for a Dagon as his first item. We see Null Talisman Staff of Wizardry, usually Invoker goes with that 4-staff, so it could be that. But I choose to believe he might be going for a Dagon. Yoshi's hanging around, throws out Poison Touch, couple with that Cold Snap, and he's going down. I don't even smoke, nothing to do. First blood coming out from Snow. Snow is outside of the Marching Machines range of that Kinetic Field, just out of range. If he was caught in that full duration of the Marching Machines, he could have gone down. Could have been a 1-for-1 at least. But nonetheless, I don't even smoke. Underestimate that power, that Poison Touch in conjunction with that Cold Snap, as well as that Sunstrike to finish him off. And Arcane Bolt flies into his corpse. Not an awful lot you can do there. Z almost got his Midas. 8 minutes Midas on an offlane Nexus Prophet against a tri-lane. Not too shabby at all. We've got Frostbite right now. He's caught in that position. Frostbite. Sunstrike down at Wongstar. Dies to that couple with the Wrath of Nature. Z saying, get back, motherfucker. Gets caught up in a glimpse. Looks like he's going to trade, but 1-for-1. Not the end of the world. That's that power, that global gank potential coming up from Snow with that Sunstrike. Z wisely recognizes that if he chose to run away, he'd be caught up by that glimpse, so he would die anyway. Might as well at least make it a 1-for-1. Might as well kill Crystal Maiden, because why not? Viceroy Gunray, almost level 6. Once he hits level 6, he'll have to start rotating in order to create space for the rest of his team. Needs to get that kill off over an Invoker. Biggest drawback of Exort Invoker is he's extremely vulnerable to ganks. He doesn't have that movement speed that Wex gives him. He doesn't have Ghost Walk from Quas Wex. He doesn't even get the strength from having more points up in Quas. Means that if you gank him, all he can do is output damage. Doesn't have that Tornado. Z going in, Sprout into Cold Snap, into Sunstrike. Even with the double damage, the King goes down. He says, you come at the King, you best not miss, and Snow doesn't miss with his Sunstrike. If he chooses to go for a Dagon, he can have it in a few minutes. We'll see if he chooses to go for this, because especially with that Bloodseeker, the synergy comes out from instantly being able to drop the enemy hero to low HP, means that he gets that movement speed, he can execute heroes at low HP as well. Follow-ups. Teleport into Sprout, into Sunstrike, Dagon. I don't think any hero on the dire side, apart from maybe the Nyx if he could get his Rage off in time. He's actually chosen to max out Feast as his first ability. Don't do this at home as well, kids. You either max out Rage if you're playing defensively, or with that recent change to Rage to Open Wounds, you want to always max out that Open Wounds. Doesn't matter how much damage you're doing if you can't hit them. You can't do damage if you're dead. These are the 2 cardinal rules of Lifestealer. If he had A few more points in open wounds. You could have open wound Z right now. Z would have been dead. I guess with the supports over on... Snow gets another kill on the King. As that power of that Sunstrike. It looks like he went Forge Spirit, Cold Snap into Sunstrike. Excellent solo kill power coming up from that. Gonna take creeps over there. He knows he's got Yoshi and DDY around. Unlikely for him to go down. DDY has Skywrath's ult, that Mystic Flare that does so much damage if you call it out, and then alone he can solo kill the Disruptor or the Crystal Maiden. This is why Blink like to pick up that Skywrath Mage, because they know that Blink's motto is if we can kill you before you can kill us, that's fair game for us. We'll catch you in a position, we'll output too much damage, we don't need CC, we don't really need stuns, we'll rely on snares, we'll rely on pure damage and silences. Youngstar throwing out that Crystal Nova, choosing to max out Frostbite. Ideally, in terms of efficiency, you want to max out Crystal Nova because it's an AoE spell, it scales a lot better. Frostbite only scales by extra 0.5 second per level point that you expend into it. Not the best scaling ability. Usually much better off maxing out that Crystal Nova as your first ability, as you can provide damage to more than one hero, and the extra half second of Immobilize isn't as good as that half second of CC could provide if you could provide on more than one hero. Snow hanging around, never mind. He looks like he went for that 4-staff. I chose to believe, and it turns out I was wrong. But nonetheless, 4-staff, great pickup on Invoker, especially in the Quas Exort Invoker, as it mitigates his biggest weakness right now, which is a slow movement speed, sitting about 330. He needs that phase boots. He doesn't have any points in Wex to give him any movement. So 4-staff gives him another way to chase. Since he hits like a truck, gives him 2 more free hits in with that 4-staff. Could go for a kill attempt over on Tinker. Tinker's now chosen to pick up 1 level and missiles. So recognizing that laser isn't quite cutting it, needs the extra point up. Skywrath Mage choosing to max out Ancient Seal. This is a pretty common build for tri-lane or support Skywrath Mage, as the 36% damage amplification is huge, especially with the way that magic resistance amplification works in Dota 2. Kill attempt happening right now. Mystic Flare coupled with the Sunstrike. Yoshi's taking a bit of damage, but with Shallow Grave, he should be fine. There's no way he could go down. Slap and Tickle, Infest into a creep, Infest bombs out. Not quite enough damage. He got 1 more hit off. He could have done it, but miscalculated a little bit. Haster in over at the top lane. Looks like a gank attempt is going to happen on Snow. Youngstar's hanging around. He's invisible. He has to go in for the Frostbite right now before Snow picks up that Haster in. Going to run ahead, grab that Haster in, get to him before Snow does. Should run out of there before Snow goes in for a kill, because if he had Cold Snap up, he could have gotten the kill with the Forged Spirits, but nonetheless, Crystal Man gets out of there, denies the Haste Rune. King getting a bit more farm, but with those early deaths, has really shut him down. He's chosen to go for a Soul Ring. Very interesting pickup. Professional Tinker players, they choose to completely skip Soul Ring until they get Boots of Travel. As the reason why you get Soul Ring is once you have Boots of Travel, once you have Rearm, Soul Ring means you get an extra much of the machines off, as you can trade your HP for mana, and you can Rearm, turn off that Soul Ring, turn on Soul Ring up again. Essentially gives you an infinite source of mana, as with Rearm and Boots of Travel, you're never in fear of getting called out of position. Viceroy Gunray taking a lot of damage, called out of position, drops that Carapace, Blink Yoshi goes down, unable to get Shallow Grave off. Dazzle's biggest weakness, especially for Shallow Grave, is he's got a very high cast point. Takes him about a second to throw it out. Bloodseeker throws out a Rupture, Slap and Tackle goes down. That's that power of that race car Bloodseeker right now. Viceroy, low HP, Flash is going to run him down. Living up to his name, the Flash is chasing down. Wongstar's low HP. Looks like Blink getting a bit greedy for kills there. Z wants this, Snow wants this, and Flash says, alright, if you guys want it, I'll give it to you. With 1 hero proccing Thirst, he has 500 movement speed. The fact that Thirst removes the HP threshold means that with Phase and with Yasha, he really is a speed killer. He really is a speed killer. Looks like the Radiant Courier went down during that. I'm unsure what happened there. Could have been a bit of miss micro. Took a few hits from the tower. Maybe the Creep Wave took it out. Snow getting a point up, and Wex goes in on I don't even smoke, stands his ground, dodges the Sunstrike, but goes down nonetheless. The sheer amount of right-click power coming up from Invoker with that Forged Spirit. The most dangerous thing about Forged Spirit is the fact they reduce armor. They do a surprising amount of damage, and if they get a few hits off of you, especially if it's 2 of them, that's -2 armor every second coming up from them. That stacks until you're out of the debuff range. Viceroy Gunray pops Vendetta. He's going in. He wants a kill on Snow. He wants to get a little bit of revenge maybe from the last game. Impale, good CC rotation coming in. Shallow Grave saves Snow, keeps him alive for a bit longer. Might be a kill over on Wongstar. Magic, Heat-Seeking Missile, finish him off with a laser. Flash goes in, he's gonna get a kill over a Viceroy Gunray, and that glimpse actually saves Flash, pulls him a bit back further. I don't even smoke. Goes down, throws out the Static Storm. Unsure why he did that. That was a bit of a wasted ult. Static Storm is extremely powerful as a team fighting ability and as a ganking ability, but you want to combo it with the Kinetic Field or with another kind of Immobilize or CC spell. Otherwise, on its own, you can just walk out of it. Doesn't do all too much. Doesn't have the longest cooldown, but still is a bit of a waste. He'll be up before it goes down. Z doing a bit of Rat Dodo. He's picked up a Shadow Blade. He'll be able to start creating gank opportunities on his own with Shadow Blade. Nature's Prophet does a lot of damage. Activate Shadow Blade, gets that first hit on. Extra 150 damage coming up from that. Follow up with the right clicks as well as the extra damage attack speed coming up from Shadow Blade. He could kill Crystal Maiden before she could really respond, especially if he times it with that Wrath of Nature. S&Y picked up on Bloodseeker. Missiles thrown out as well as the Marching Machines, but looks like they're going on it anyway. Weaver's thrown out, Mystic Flare, King goes down. Snow's going to trade this. Eats the Impale as well as the Mana Burn. Yoshi taking a lot of damage. He has Shallow Grave. He's drinking around, but with the vision that Thunderstrike provides, he's going to go down. Viceroy Gunray has another Impale off cooldown. He's going to throw it out right now when he's caught out in that choke point. Triple kill coming up from the Nyx Assassin. He's off to a great start now. If he gets a little bit more gold, if he can pick up his Blink Dagger, he can really start to make Blink pay for their aggression. This is one of the reasons why Blink don't like to play against that Nyx Assassin. You saw the power of him right now. Called out two of them with the Impale, threw out the Mana Burn, instantly killed the Invoker. Does a lot of damage over to Skywrath Mage. Skywrath Mage, especially with his high ink gain and very low strength gain, is extremely vulnerable. Right now, he's got 66 intelligence. Nyx Assassin, every time he throws out his Mana Burn, times that by 4, he's eating a hell of a lot of damage. Pretty much kills Skywrath Mage instantly. If he follows up with, if he initiates with Vendetta, Impale into the Mana Burn. And with the Mana Burn cooldown going down to 4 seconds at level 4, every 4 seconds, if Skywrath Mage is in range, he's going to take a lot of damage. At least he's happy it's not the Pugna. DDY hanging around. He needs to get that 4-star up as he could use it to juke out the Nyx. Dazzle with Medallion of Courage. Blink really don't seem to prioritize that mechanism. They don't seem to be too dependent on it. I guess they rely on the doctrine of overwhelming offense. They don't need any sustainability if they could kill them before they do anything else. Rupture thrown out over on Slap and Tickle. He decides to TP out. Never mind, isn't dropped by Cold Snap. 4-stab in from Snow. Follow up the Cold Snap. Gets another kill. Great combination coming out from there. Blink recognizing that once he throws out that Rupture, he's going to TP home, and Snow hanging around the wings with that 4-star saying, hey buddy, you're not going nowhere. Viceroy Gunray hanging around the backhand. He's got Vendetta off cooldown, so he might look to go in for initiation, but with that Lifestealer down, not an awful lot he could do. Lifestealer choosing to max out Rage, but the issue with that is while you're magic immune, if you're not hitting anyone, you're not really doing anything, and with that 200 range on open wounds at level 1, very unlikely he's going to be able to hit anyone. And if Nyx isn't hitting anyone, he's not doing anything. Viceroy Gunray caught out position, eats that Mystic Flare. With that movement speed from Vendetta, is able to just walk through it. That's that power of that Ancient Seal coming out. 36% magic amplification is nothing to sneeze at. Skywrath Mage, especially with Ancient Apparition, it stacks with Ice Vortex. 56% magic amplification, probably a bit less due to diminishing returns. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, and the top lane, sorry, I Don't Even Smoke goes down to the Sunstrike. Cold Snap plus Forge Spirits brings down the Crystal Maiden. That's the power of the Quas Exort Invoker. Snow playing a fantastic game. He picked up Boots of Travels. That's how confident he is right now and the control they have over the map. Just going to do a quick golden EXP check. In terms of EXP, we've got 12,000 EXP lead over in favor of Team Blink. And in terms of gold, 12,000. In terms of net worth, Flash leading the way. He's got the net worth of Nyx and the Tinker combined. Tinker is yet to pick up... Oh, there we go. He's picked up his Boots of Travel. So he's starting to do, this is the Tinker combination right now. He TPs into a lane, throws out March in the Machine, uses Rearm, uses a Soul Ring, throws out secondary March in the Machines, Rearms again, and BOTs back home. This is the way he does create space for his team. He's got 4 points up in the Heat-Seeking Missile now, so he can use that to delay pushes. Can throw out that Heat-Seeking Missile, Rearm, throw it out again, force the heroes back. We got a walking Nyx Bomb combination coming out. He says... Nyx says, hey, my name starts with N, your name starts with N, let's do this. Vendetta N, looks like they're going in on Z. Z spotted out, throws out that Wrath of Nature, is called out, Dust Pop, because they know he has a Shadow Blade. With that Impale, Lifestealer gets that last hit in. Meanwhile, over in the middle lane, King is spotted out by Flash, is TPing out, looks like he should be the TP his way on home. Flash caught in a very tricky situation right now, there's Nyx chasing him through, trying to juke him out, Viceroy Gunray, sees him, unable to react in time, misses that Impale, and Flash should be fine. Good trade over for Team Blink. However, insert team name here, they do get the Nature's Prophet, so they do trade a higher priority hero for the 2 supports over on that side. And with the March of the Machine spam coming up from Tinker, they should be able to defend that mid lane. This is why Tinker is such a pain in the ass. It's almost impossible to push against him. just because he's always able to throw out those marching machines, just because he can throw out those heat-seeking missiles to drive you back. Snow caught out of position, but Slap and Tickle forced back, especially with that Ancient Seal. Uses that Ghost Walk right now. The recent change to Ghost Walk means that it actually increases your movement speed at high levels of Wex, as opposed to decreasing it. Usually, Ghost Walk, the biggest drawback to it is, while you're invisible, you snare the... caught out by Glimpse. Mistimed it a bit, was a bit unaware of what position he was 4 seconds ago, so misses the kinetic field. But moving back on to Ghost Walk, usually the old version of it, never mind, looks like we got a Gak Attack, Concussive Shot following up. Sunstrike's going to miss, but with Cold Snap and with Magic Seal, he's going to go down. Mystic Seal thrown out just in case. We see that Skywrath Mage actually chosen to only keep one... Oh, never mind, he's just leveled that second point up with Mystic Flare. Usually Skywrath Mage players, if they're playing from behind, if they don't have that Arcane Boots and another Intelligence item, they choose to skip that secondary level of Mystic Flare just because it costs so much mana. Right now, it's half of his mana pool eaten up by that. If he gets hit by 1 mana burn, won't have enough mana to throw out any of his other abilities. Tinker has disconnected, so we've got a mana pause coming out from Snow. Recognize that the King is disconnected, so they're just waiting for the King to return. Just going to do a quick item check on side for both sides. We've got Boots of Travel, Drums, Midas, as well as S and Y. This is a very fast, speedy Bloodseeker. We'll see what item he chooses to pick up next. He might even go for something like that Blade Mail. Team Blink might start stacking Blade Mails to counteract that. Tinker, one of the best ways to counter him is when he throws out his March, 2 or 3 people pop their Blade Mail, walk into the March, tank the March, and Tinker dies before they do. Skywrath Mage, Arcane Boots, he's been on ward duty as well as he's picked up a 4-star. Great item to use, especially against that Lifestealer. Nature's Prophet, looks like he's going for a Desolator after his Shadow Blade. He's having a fantastic game. Pushed down a lot of towers. He has been called out and died a few times, but nonetheless, he's created space for his team. He's taken towers, he's taken kills. Dazzle, looks like he's going for the mechanism. He'll have it in a little bit. Dazzle's a great mech carrier because unlike a lot of other support heroes, he can always find farm with his Shadow Wave. He's picked up the Medallion of Courage. Great synergy with Dazzle as he really hits really hard. Can actually provide a few solo kill opportunities. Poison, all of his spells do physical damage. And Yoshi, he's going for that Zoo build. He's gone Boots Travel into 4-star, has that Necro Book up. Looks like King's just reconnected. He'll be upgrading that Necro Book Invoker with Quas Exort, especially with Forge Spirits and Cold Snap. Hell of a lot of damage. Cold Snap provides everything Necro Books need, which is time to beat on their targets. As well as the attack speed and movement speed aura means that Invoker, as well as Forge Spirits, are doing a lot more damage as well. Damage amplification spell for everybody. Rotations coming into the middle lane. We've got King TPing in, throws out rockets, going to the cheeky bit of harassment. Blinks out. He has that Blink Dagger now, so he can now effectively farm anywhere on the map. This is the biggest advantage of Tinker. A little bit behind on it, 21 minutes, not the best timing, but what can you do? It's the fact that when you BOT into a lane, you shift key your Blink into trees. You can instantly blink out into trees, out of gank range, throw out your March, rearm, there we go, we see it right there. He needs to shift queue that, but other than that, he's doing fine. Flash eating a lot of damage from those missiles, but every time he kills a creep, he regenerates that. King's actually hanging around. We'll see what item he chooses to go for next. There are 3 conventional Tinker options once you have that Boots of Travel and once you have that Blade Dagger. First and foremost is that Sheepstick. This is the old school Tinker build. This is the traditional done, tried and tested build. Provides him a 3.5 second Hex, which he can rearm and use repeatedly in team fights. Also provides a huge amount of mana. Z called out once again by the Nyx and Nyx combination. Really making him work with that Vendetta, showing why Blink don't like to play against that Nyx. Secondary item build for the Tinker is the fact that you could go into the Dagon. This is the magic damage heavy build where you rely on the fact that with Missile, Laser, and Dagon, you can kill a lot of heroes before they can respond. Not only that, you can always rearm, do it all over again, provide a huge amount of magical damage. You go for this build when your team already has lockdown but lacks damage. You're saying, hey, I'm going to transition to be the primary damage dealer for the team. Third build, which has been picked up recently, is the fact that with Aghanim Scepter, doubles the range of the laser, making a great execution spell. Also, increases the amount of heat-seeking missiles from 2 to 4. This is the Death Ball or Sieging build where you get this if you're either on the defensive like they are right now. It means that every time the Radiant side want to push, they're eating 4 missiles to the face, as well as marching machines, as well as a 1.1k laser, which they can use to finish off a sport hero if it gets a little bit too low. Great way to defend your high ground, and not only that, great for Death Ball pushing, as all you have to do is drop a ward in the high ground, say around, oh, I'll just mark with my mouse, say around here. Get vision of the enemy high ground, can throw out missiles to push them back. Use that for when you're grouping up and want an early game push. Fighters 5. We'll see what you choose to go for in this case. Mechanism picked up on Dazzle, so he's got that extra amount of sustain. We'll see what items they choose to go for next. DDY, he might go for something like a Blink Dagger maybe if he wants that extra bit of movement. He could go for that Yule Scepter. Really good item on the Skywrath Mage as it gives him a 2.5 second Cyclone. push himself out of the way, to cycle himself out of the way, make himself invulnerable in case things go down. Can also use that to set up his Mystic Flare. Cyclone, throw down Mystic Flare, and Concussive Shot right as the Cyclone wears off. King hiding out in the trees, Blink Snow, force-stuffing himself in, guesses wrong. King throws out a missile saying, fuck off Yoshi, I'm going back home. Tornado's thrown out, but with only a few points up in Wax, very short range. Guesses correctly, but gets his... He's already out. Flash taking a lot of damage, looks like he's going to go down Slap and Tickle. Bit greedy, was caught out in the Roach Pit, that's 2 for none. Z's caught out, DDY's caught out of position as well. He gets that Ancient Seal, throws out that Mystic Flare, goes down. Freezing Field thrown out, not too sure why that was used. I mean, he was dead anyway, but I guess Crystal Maiden wanted to join in the fun. Looks like a 3-row Sharp kill for the Dire side. This could be a huge turnaround. Blink Dota really throwing away the early game advantage. EXP graph is down a shift now, about 12,000 EXP lead in terms of gold, dropping down from 15k. Throws out that Sunstrike, that actually never mind, with 3 heroes, with 3 units around, Sunstrike damage is divided. Slap and Tickle taking a lot of damage, he has that armlet up. He went for Treads, which is extremely surprising on a Lifestealer. You always want to go for the face boots. As like I said before, if you're not hitting anybody as a Lifestealer, you're doing your job wrong. You do have above average movement speed, but it's all about that chasing power. Movement speed is an absolute premium, and against the heroes of the Radiant side with their 4 stars up, you need a way to close that distance. If you're unable to get that open wound off, you're unable to hit the enemy heroes, you're just a glorified melee creep that can't really do anything. Even if you are magic immune, they can always just cut you around and beat you down. As the Radiant side only have 1 melee hero, which is their carry Flash. He's significantly more farmed than you are, he hits harder. He picked up a Blink Dagger. Not too sure what the rationale for that item pickup was, as you already have high mobility. I guess he's going for a bit of a trolley item pick. Might start to regret that if insert name here start to get their act together, which they looks like they have. Nyx Assassin's picked up that Blink Dagger. He'll most likely look to get a 4-star as a secondary item. Turns him into an angrier version of Puck. Activate Carapace, blink in, throw out the Impale. They can't do anything to you because you've got Carapace up. 4-star yourself away, throw out your Mana Burn. Once your spells are off cooldown, once your Blink's off cooldown, you turn around and do it all over again. Having Blink Dagger also means you don't have to use Vendetta to initiate. It means you could actually use it to do burst damage, as Vendetta does add 250, 350, 600 physical damage in the first hit. So you can blink in, Impale, pop Vendetta to get that extra hit in, throw out the Mana Burn, use that to burst people down. With the push coming in, but King is able to delay that push. With that stuff and Wizardry pickup, I'm thinking he's going for that Dagon. He could go for 4-star as well. It's another good pickup on Tinker, but with Blink Dagger, he doesn't really need that extra mobility all too much. He could get it to support out his Lifestealer, use it to push him in. Lifestealer's gotten pure damage, he's gone for that crit stick. But his issue right now isn't damage, his issue is being able to hit people. And I guess with the lockdown coming out from the Nyx, coming out from the kinetic field as well as the glimpse, he does have that, but we'll see how it works out. Viceroy Gun Ray initiates a bit too far and called out. Static Storm thrown out to connect Storm. King gets a kill over on Yoshi's, unable to get that Shallow Grave off. Throws out the Concussive Shot, Slap and Tickle, very low HP. Blink goes down, Dagon coming out from King. That's the power of that Dagon Taker coming out right now. Flash going in, over the Crystal Man. She throws out Crystal Field. Is interrupted by both the Ancient Seal as well as the Tornado. Z coming in from the side. He's going to bring her down with right clicks. I don't even smoke, throws at the Glimpse a little bit too late. Unable to bring him back into lane. King hanging around the back end. Sip and Tickle going down. 4 for 1 kill. Turning around in favor of Blink. King's able to hang around, throw out the Martian Machine, throw out missiles, try to drive them back, but that's all he can do. Drawback to that Dagon pickup is right now they already have a huge amount of damage coming out with Lifestealer, as well as with that Static Storm and Glimpse combination. What they need right now is Lockdown. I guess they're banking on the fact that with Nyx Assassin, with Crystal Maiden Snare, as well as with Disruptor, they're thinking they have enough Lockdown, they need damage to finish people off. But we'll see how it works out. You saw right now, he was able to use it to kill Yoshi before he could get a Shallow Grave off. We've got level 3 Necro, but picked up on Snow. In terms of gold lead, Blink is still significantly far ahead. They do have that Aegis, but Aegis popped. So Lifestealer died twice in that fight. Very messy fight for him. Wasn't able to accomplish all too much as he was just getting kited around. Slapped around by all the spells being thrown out by the Radiant side once his rage wears off. King actually hanging around in the middle of the creep wave, not too sure what he's doing there. You always want to make sure that once you have that Blink Dagger, you shift him to trees, just in case in the off chance that someone's hanging around. Even if you do have vision on the map, it's just a good habit to get into. Tinker's all about efficiency and shift queuing. Once you get those 2 skills down cold, you're really able to increase your GPM. Accidentally, all chatters, should I make the AC? Great pickup. Viceroy Gunray called out with that Rupture, locked in place, throws out that Carapace. Might have enough time, never mind. No, he doesn't have enough time to get off that Blink with that Rupture on him, and he goes down. Z snagging the kill with that Wrath of Nature. Even though he has died a few times, being called out of position, he's really calling on in terms of farm. We'll see if he chooses to pick up maybe something like a BKB over on the jungle. Slap and Tickle going toe-to-toe with Flash. Sportio is coming in with Yoshi and with Snow in the background. Snow throws out the Tornado, only catches one. Throws out that Meatball, doing so much damage to that Lifestealer. He goes down, it's called out completely on his own. Z's Shelly Grove thrown out on him in that Kinetic Storm and eating that Thunderstrike. He should be fine. Buyback from this Nyx, recognizing that if he's down for this fight, that could very well be game. Disruptor looks like he's going for the 4-star. He could go for that Dagon as well, but I really wouldn't want to see that. They need a 4-star for their Lifestealer, just to be able to enable him to get into the fight, start beating on people. Crystal Maiden looks like she's going for that mech. She will have it up in a little bit. Blink Dota grouping up for that push. And we see Z coming in for this as well. He could go for that split push, but they're saying, hey, it's 4v1, that carries down, I think we could do this. Eats a missile to the face, March of the Machine's coming out, pops that drop, pops that mech, giving the creeps a little bit more HP. We've got Necrobic minions doing a lot of damage. Flash blinks in, throws out the Rupture over on Crystal Maiden. She's taking a lot of damage, especially with the fact that she has Weave on her. I don't even smoke taking damage. Meatball's going to kill off Crystal Maiden. Viceroy Gun Ray goes in on Flash, but goes down. Flash with that Bloodbath is able to stay alive. Eats the Dagon to the face, but beyond that is fine. 3 for nothing kill, and that looks like middle lane Rax. There's no way they can defend this. Slap and Tickle's back, but on his own, there's nothing he can do. He's just going to get kited down. And once his rage wears off, bursts down with a sheer amount of magical power coming out from Team Blink. King goes in, he kills off Flash, great kill from him. DDY eating the Marching Machine. King running away. Hopefully he should be able to get a rearm off. Never mind, he's called out. No, the Tornado's actually a little bit too short. Is able to blink out, eats the Ancient Seal, but he should be fine. Flash blinks in. He bought back, he's out for vengeance. King's hanging around, he needs to rearm BOT back into base, throw out the Marching Machine. Slap and Tickle called out. Ancient Seal with the Rupture, with the Mystic Flare. There's no way he's surviving through this. Looks like a secondary lane at Rax. Blink really going for the jugular. They're saying, hey, we want to end this game. Lifestealer buys back into the game. Nyx Assassin's up in a bit. Good connect field to the Static Storm combination, but there's no follow-up to take advantage of it. It's used as a last-ditch effort just to try to hold them back. King has Lifestealer on them, blinks in, throws out the Dagon. Shallow Grave keeping Flash alive. Flash turns around, gets a kill, regens a lot of life. Meatball misses on everybody, but not an issue right now. Nature's Prophet with that Wrath of Nature gets 2 kills. Viceroy Gunray gets a kill over on Snow with that Mana Burn, but he buys back. He's got 4-star. He's going in for blood. He's silenced up, called out and Sprout, and there you go. Nature's Prophet gets that kill. 1-star called out positions, but he should be able to make it back fine. Without Cold Snap, no way he could get a kill over on that.
No, wait, that's just Dire's top barracks.
Juggernaut Courier just remarking the fact that the top lane has gone down. Sheepstick picked up by Z, and looks like they're just going to go for the third lane of Rax, go for the Mega Creeps, and then go for the kill. Good turnaround fights coming out from insert name here, but there just haven't been as much coordination compared to Team Blink. Tinker did do his best to create a bit of space for his team. Questionable item and skill build coming out from the Lifestealer, really making him a passive hero instead of an active hero, which is what Lifestealer is. He relies on getting ahead, on getting those early kills, and having that explosive mid-game potential. He doesn't scale as well into the late game as other carries, unless he's off to a great start, unless he's able to get those kills. They really didn't play Lifestealer to the strengths of his ability, which is the fact that he has that open wound to follow up as an 80% snare, follow up with the Crystal Nova to initiate, run up, get that open wound off, beat them down. Got a bit of action happening. Ancient Seal coupled with the Arcane Bolt. Flash blinks in. Tornado, Meatball to EMP. Actually, Meatball misses, but nonetheless is able to kill him. Flashes BKB, goes into a 1-star, says, your Connect Field doesn't do anything to me now. Kills off Disruptor before the Arcane Bolt hits him. That's just rude. And that looks like game. 32 minutes. This is Blink Dota's longest game so far. They have beaten the record for Paddy's Pop Stop. A few good fights there from insert name here. They had a lot of fights where potentially they could have won. They just didn't have that follow-up coming through from the rest of the team. Bit of a shame, but nonetheless, pretty good series so far. Blink take it 2-0. Blitzkrieging boys from Blink. 4-0 now in the Group 1 stage. We'll see how they fare on Monday. I believe next week they're up against Team Struggle. So we'll see how they do. Open wounds thrown out Snow, not really doing anything. It's in their fountain farming. I don't even smoke. Caught out with Rupture. King goes a bit too far. Caught out position, goes down to the Mystic Flare. And at 32 minutes and 51 seconds, Game 2 goes to Blink. Blink 2-0s the series against insert name here. Great game series. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be uploading the VODs up shortly. And I believe tomorrow there's a bunch of games happening. 4 Horsemen of the Ruckus. So we're finally having the first Group 2 playoffs happening tomorrow. So that should be great fun. Thanks for listening, everyone. 49 signing out.